Yo, 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 yo. Yo, 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 yo. We are live. We are live. Give me 1 second here while I set everything up. Bear with me. Bear with me here. Gotta make sure everything is in check. Got your boy solo today. Um, so we are just going to make sure that everything is good to go here. So just bear with me for 1 second. While I just get everything set up here. So what is good, everybody? What's up, Sick Gamer? What's going on, bro? Appreciate you tuning into the stream. Um, just give me 1 second here while I just get everything set up real quick. What's up, Hakeem? What's good, everybody? What is good? Your boy is solo today, so bear with me. I just gotta try to post everything up real quick. Going to put it on Instagram real quick. Appreciate you guys tuning in. Just gonna be doing our little weekly roundup here for this week's news, rumors, leaks, all that good stuff. Kind of a slow week, to be completely honest. So not much. Obviously, we did have the passing of Hulk Hogan this week. That kind of took most of the whole wrestling news and stuff like that this week. So if you guys didn't check out our video, we did post a full video on that whole topic already this week. So make sure you guys go check out our latest video, streams, all that good stuff. You and Break got me tuned in every time. Appreciate that, man. Really do. Definitely means a lot. Definitely means a lot. Still grinding over here on the channel, you know what I mean? Chipping away. But we do appreciate all the support from everybody over on the channel. So again, just give me one quick little second here while I get everything situated, and then we're gonna get into pretty much the wrestling news from this week. So again, kind of a slow week, not a whole lot, but I do have some topics to cover with you guys. So that's right. That's right. I am a one-man show today, guys. So bear with me with the silence for a quick second. Trying to do everything over here by myself real quick. So just hang on 1 second. I promise you, I'm gonna get right to it. By the way, if you guys aren't following us on Instagram, make sure you guys go check out our Instagram page. It's Run the Ropes Media, same as it is on YouTube, and also go check us out over on TikTok. TikTok's different animal, man. TikTok is actually doing pretty well. Some of our videos actually perform pretty darn good. So make sure you guys go check us out over again at Run the Ropes Media over on TikTok. So that would be much appreciated. And just got this. Boom. Boom, boom, boom. Story, share, done. Cool. And then let me just post this real quick on the actual channel. I can link it real quick. Share, create posts. Posts. And we should be good to go here. Let me just make sure. Yeah, we're good. All right, cool. All right. Thank you guys for bearing with me again. Your boy is solo over here on the channel. So, let's us dive right into it. All right. So, again, slow week as far as the news and everything like that from this past week. But obviously, we got SummerSlam cooking up this week. It's going to be a pretty busy week here over on the channel. We're going to have our prediction videos for SummerSlam, all that good stuff. Obviously, we'll break down Monday Night Raw if anything happens over there. Your boy's going to Friday Night SmackDown. It is in New Jersey. So your boy's actually going to be heading over there to Friday Night SmackDown. So hopefully I might do a couple of clips, you know what I'm saying? Maybe some shorts, maybe some Instagram reels. Um maybe some vlog-ish type of content that I can post on the channel as far as a video, but make sure you guys let me know if you guys are interested in like a vlog style type of video on the channel. Let me know that. Otherwise, if you guys aren't, into it or not feeling it, then there's kind of no need, you know what I'm saying? So just let me know in the chat here if that's something that you're interested in. But I'm excited, man. I get to see John Cena for the last time in person, most likely. So yeah, I am pretty darn excited about that. Just saying. So all right, so let us start off with some of the news from this week. All right, so here we go. Let me put myself over in the corner and get our little news broadcast going right here. Yeah, do it. You think I should do it, Sick Gamer? Yeah, I could do it. I definitely can. I mean, it's nothing really to it, right? Everybody's got a phone these days, so it definitely could make a little bit of a vlog style for the channel, and then we can obviously see how that performs on the channel as well. See if people, are interested and want to tune into that. So here we go. First on the agenda. So WWE and Fandango went ahead and partnered up for SummerSlam this weekend. Now, this is interesting to me only because I don't know how many people are going to be interested in going to a movie theater in order to watch wrestling event. Um like me and Bray kind of talked about it, on the side, like it would be kind of cool, right, to go to a WWE PLE like streaming in a movie theater for like a Royal Rumble. I think that would be so cool. Obviously everybody in the whole crowd would be pretty excited for that. Like the whole countdown and the timer and everything like that. So I think that could be really dope. But as far as like SummerSlam, I don't know how many people are gonna want to go to the movie theaters to watch, you know, to watch wrestling. I feel like the best seat in the house is always at home when you're talking about, events, right? You kind of go to the events itself like for the atmosphere, obviously. But when you're just talking about like you're going to a movie theater, you're not actually going to the event, you're just going to the movie theater to watch it. I guess the atmosphere could be cool if people are like really into the PLE, but again, I feel like the Royal Rumble would probably be like the best one to possibly go to for such an event like this. But again, let me know in the chat if you guys are interested in stuff like this, right? Like I don't know. It is a weird partnership, and at the same time too, it's almost like, man, how much money is the WWE really trying to get out of people, if that makes sense? Like I mean, it's almost like you're stretching your dollar really thin now, trying to nickel and dime every single person that is a wrestling fan at this point. Maybe I'm wrong for thinking that and saying that, you know what I mean? But it kind of just is what it is. Um, that's just how I feel about it. I feel like every single partnership that WWE, TKO, that they have right now is literally just to maximize their dollar. Obviously, it's a business, so we do understand it, but at the same token, it's really trying to stretch that amount of money really thin when it comes to the consumer. So that is something to think about. But let me know down below if you guys would ever show up to a movie theater to watch WWE. Something to think about it. Again, obviously the partnership just started, so they're going to be trying it out with SummerSlam. But yeah, let me know. Let me know in the chat if this is something that you guys would actually go to a theater for is to watch a WWE PLE. And I also would think too, right, that the tickets for it's not just gonna be like a regular movie ticket, right? Like, they're streaming something, they're obviously like, I'm assuming they'd be using Peacock or, or Netflix in different areas to stream the PLE. So, are they would they charge more for the movie ticket because you're also going there to watch an event? I don't know. The whole thing is a little bit iffy, in my mind, but is what it is, I suppose. So let me know down below in the chat if you would be going to a movie theater to watch WWE. Could be cool, I guess, if you go with friends, and again, depending on obviously the event. Here we go with the next one, and bang. So, per Fightful, all right, Karrion Kross has told multiple wrestlers, and I guess sources, that's how they get this information, that neither he nor Scarlett have signed new deals with WWE, and they haven't even been offered new contracts. I guess their current deal is set to expire in August. Let me see. Sick Gamer. Usually the movie. Let me pull this up. Usually the movie experience is quiet, but wrestling is a more energetic experience. I don't know how that would go. Exactly, bro. Exactly. Kind of my perspective on it. I think again, depending on the event, like if you went for like a Royal Rumble experience where like you have the ticker counting down 5, 4, 3, and then you have like a wrestler, and then you could get a big pop in the movie theater. I do feel like that could be a pretty cool experience. But at the same time, just for your regular PLEs, I don't know how it would play out in the movie theater, but could be I mean, it's a good idea, you know what I'm saying? It could be a flop, but it is a good idea, I suppose. But yeah, man, Karrion Kross is obviously having his match at SummerSlam against Sami Zayn, right? So it kind of is very curious that his deal is set to expire in August. Obviously, SummerSlam is night 1 and night 2, August 2nd and 3rd. So I'm very curious as to why they wouldn't sign him already before SummerSlam to a new deal, unless they're not going to re-sign him. Maybe SummerSlam is a test. Maybe SummerSlam is kind of a feeling out process to see how the fans react to him. I think it's Karrion Kross's, other than Night of Champions. I think it's one of Karrion Kross's. It might be his second ever PLE. I'm not sure if he's been on any other PLEs but the Night of Champions that just happened in Saudi Arabia, obviously, the first one against Sammy. But I mean, obviously, the dynamic of Karrion Kross just seems to get greater, right? You know, WWE obviously was starting to listen to the fans. The fans really wanted him to be pushed. They put this whole angle together with Sami Zayn. I do think it's been a really good angle so far. I personally think I want to see more of them allowing Karrion Kross to be in the ring, cutting good promos against somebody back and forth in the ring, just to kind of get the feeler out for that as well. We have not had that yet. We have not had him in the ring with Sami Zayn. I mean, maybe this happens, tomorrow night on Monday Night Raw. But as far as it happening, it's only been backstage segments, and then they had the two matches so far. But I'm okay with I'm okay with the storyline so far. I do just wish there was a little bit more meat and potatoes there with him, but I don't know. I mean, this is not great news, right? Heading into SummerSlam, and they still don't have a new deal signed. So what do we always say over here on the channel is this is kind of just a wait and see, to kind of test out if they're going to re-sign him or not, and what happens after SummerSlam. So yeah, kind of unfortunate news if you are a Karrion Kross fan. Next up on the list here that I wanted to touch on real quick when it comes to Stephanie Vaquer, here we go. Per Russell Votes, WWE has significant plans for Stephanie Vaquer heading into the fall. Marketing and creative services have presented several character updates, including refinements to her overall presentation. Now, this is obviously Elite Rockers. This is coming from on Twitter. Put the little interesting thing, right? But it is interesting because I feel like she's already getting a huge push right now. You know what I'm saying? Like, I don't know what else they could really do. Obviously, the fans have really taken to her, and they've really been pushing her on Monday Night Raw. Even tomorrow night, she's in that tag match, I think, with Io Sky and Rhea Ripley. But yeah, man. I mean, what other kind of different marketing and creative services to her character, especially since she's new on the main roster as well? It's not like we really have had all that much time with her on the main roster yet, and they're already trying to look at different character updates. Um, so again, it's a little interesting. But overall, I think she's kind of killing the game right now. You know what I mean? So I hope that they don't, whatever tweaks that they're going to be making to her character, I hope don't affect her in a negative way, which I don't really know how you can mess up her momentum right now, obviously. Sick gamer. I think her, Io, and Rhea could form a new stable. We could see. We could see, but at the same time, let me ask you this question, bro. You just named two of the bigger women stars. I mean, let's just say three, right? Three of the biggest women stars out there right now. So if you put her, Io, and Rhea in a tag, now they're kind of just in this faction. And you're not gonna have them, I mean, unless you let them go out in singles matches and compete for, gold and stuff like that, I could see that working potentially. But if you didn't, I just feel like that would be such a waste of literally the some of the three biggest women's talents that we have right now is to just stick them in a faction. I feel like WWE kind of does that a lot, and they do it a lot, not in a great way, right? Like a lot of the times they'll stick talent with each other and kind of hope that the team works or the group works or whatever. Um, so yeah, I kind of hope that they don't do that, to be completely honest with you. But I guess we're just gonna have to wait and see what happens. But yeah, I just thought it was interesting that they're already looking at trying to tweak or upgrade or whatever her character, because I think personally she's kind of killing it already right now. So let us move on to the next one. Speaking of character updates and pushes, we got this one right here. Speaking of Rhea Ripley, WWE reportedly has plans to position Ripley, Fatu, and Breaker to be the next top stars for the company. Now, when I hear this, I immediately kind of just go back to what the same thing with Stephanie Vaquer is. Well, why, right? Aren't they already pretty much the next top stars for the company? You know what I'm saying? Like, they kind of already are. So what are they gonna do to push them even further? I feel like they're already being pushed into the top spotlight. Or am I wrong? I mean, Ripley is the biggest women's star that we have currently in the WWE. I mean, her and Liv Morgan are the two biggest females that we have currently in the WWE, right? So, I mean, what are we gonna do else that is going to push them? Obviously, Jacob Fatu, major star. Braun Breaker is in the group. Obviously, the whole Seth Rollins thing kind of, I wouldn't say hurts the group, um, because we're gonna have to wait and see and on how that whole thing plays out. But um, yeah, I mean, I feel like they're already in a really good position in the company right now. Obviously, Jacob Fatu and Rhea Ripley, if you guys have noticed, week in and week out, they've been wearing the merchandise that represents the city, um, that they're in. Like they had the San Antonio Spurs kind of inspired gear. What was it on Friday Night SmackDown? I forget where they were. Where were they in Friday Night SmackDown? Just the other night. I forget, but even Jacob had that as well on, the merch that resembles the city, the sports teams, so on and so forth. That was something that had come out as well, and it looks like Rhea Ripley's following that. I doubt they have Braun Breaker do something similar to that just because he's in the faction already. It wouldn't really make sense for him to be rocking City. I mean, he's a heel too, so it's a little bit different. But yeah, man, I mean, I just kind of read this stuff and I'm like, man, like how I mean, are they going to be pushing them even more? Because I don't even know how much more you can push Rhea Ripley. San Antonio and Houston. That's what it is. Thank you, man. Houston. That's what it was. You're right. But yeah, it's kind of like, especially with Rhea Ripley, right? Again, she's the biggest female star that we have right now. So I don't know how you could, say that like, oh, they're going to be the next top. They're already the next top stars, right, in the company. So again, we're gonna have to see kind of how this plays out as far as like if they're gonna push them in a different direction over time and stuff like that. But I just thought it was interesting to note that this was obviously on the agenda for the WWE. A real quick one I wanted to to put on here just to see the people that are in here get a temperature in the room for this right now. Obviously, Mercedes Moné just wrestled today and she captured her 8th title belt. Obviously, Mercedes Moné is in AEW, but obviously AEW has that um, contract or negotiation or agreement right out there with all these other different promotions. Um, I mean, Brett, at what point, right? At what point does this get to the point where it's a little bit ridiculous? I mean, she's running around with every company's belt. These other companies and promotions, like, they don't have a champion right now because Mercedes Moné has their belt. She can't be on every single show every week or every single night. So, what do these companies do when they're letting her be their champion? Like, damn, damn, that's crazy to me, bro. And I'm not gonna act blind to the fact that WWE currently right now has 2 of the TNA titles. I ain't gonna be blind to that because we currently got 2 of the TNA belts over on side. Obviously, Trick Williams, the TNA champion, and then you have JC Jane as the women's TNA champion. So I just think it's wild that these companies and promotions are allowing, you know, these different stars to come in and just snatch up all their belts. You know what I mean? This is a little ridiculous. Yeah, bro. I just and hey, kudos to Mercedes Moné, right? She left the WWE. Her and obviously Naomi at the time they had left WWE right with the women's tag team belts. They took Naomi back. They obviously did not negotiate Mercedes Moné to come back with the company at the time. So we have yet to see anything like that. And now that she's in AEW, I have no idea how long that contract is until. But let's see. Sal, what did Sal say? It's not like she's what she was when she was with WWE. That's kind of a hot button topic too, right? Because you could even argue that she is bigger. I mean, she's the top woman star in AEW and obviously all these other promotions where she's the champion in, right? Like, what makes you say that she's not where she was? Is it just because of the audience and like the stage that she's on? Obviously, being in AEW is a little bit less, right? It just is. It's not as many viewers, not as many eyeballs, so on and so forth. But is that what you're meaning by saying that she's not what she was when she was in WWE? But man, I just think that it's wild that these promotions are allowing this to happen. Maybe I am, in the minority when it comes to this, but that'd be like Matt Cardona, right? Matt Cardona signs a one-off deal in WWE, and he's still allowed to work on the independent scene, and yet he comes into WWE and wins the Intercontinental Championship, the United States Championship. He becomes our world champion, like, and then he's out on these other promotions and different circuits. having the belts. That's crazy to me. I just don't get it. I don't understand it. I mean, maybe there's a bigger picture involved than I can comprehend, but that's wild to me. So, I'll leave it at that. You guys can let me know down below in the comments what you guys think about all that. Let's see, Sal. That's part of it, that it's a lesser promotion, but I think her performance and all that isn't the same. I mean, I guess you could argue that, definitely. You absolutely could argue that 100%. Um, but at the same time, the competition is a little bit less in those other promotions as well, right? So it's not particularly her fault. You can't really blame her. She's only doing what she can work with. You know what I'm saying? And honestly, I thought her the little promo between, or the angle that her and Tony Storm had was really good. So I don't know. I don't know. I think they thought Mercedes carrying the belts around would be promotion for those companies, but it ended up going that way. Yeah, I think you're right, Mr. Sneaks. I think you're right 100% about that. I think maybe they thought that it would have the effect of like, all right, let's put, Mercedes Moné as our champion. Let's have her parade around as this champion, this 8 belt champion. We'll have her go around to all these different promotions and help them promote our company. But then she's never back on the shows to defend the belts and all this other stuff. So it does kind of get a little bit messy. Um, obviously she's in AEW like constantly, right? But that's her main promotion. She cannot be in all these other different companies every single week, every single night, and defend the belts and help these other companies promote either, you know? Yeah, I mean, I think this is obviously some of it too, but at the same time, bro, the WWE schedule is a lot less right now as well. WWE schedule is a lot less than what it has been ever before. So I don't know. I don't know. It's kind of just all perspective and stuff like that. I mean, again, it'll be curious to see where she ends up down the line. I'll say that. It'll be very curious to see where she does end up in the future. Um, as far as like what she'll do after she's done with AEW and all these other promotions. But let me know down below in the comments section. I'll read some of these off if you guys think she will ever end up back in WWE. Maybe me and Bray can make a video on that, but I'm curious to know what you guys' thoughts are on that. Next on the list, here we go. Obviously, last night, AAA, the Mexican promotion, had an event last night, and this man, Dominic Mysterio, got one of the biggest pops in the history of wrestling. He got a Stone Cold Steve Austin level pop last night in AAA. I think he's going to be doing big things over there. He's obviously the Intercontinental Champion, and then he's holding up the AAA title. I think Vikingo has it over there currently. But yeah, man. I mean, wow. Dude, he got a crazy pop last night coming out with the mask on. Attacked both of them in the ring. El Grande Americano, or Ludwig Kaiser, was there last night as well. But this dude is crazy over in Mexico. I mean, this is another topic for conversation, but like, I guess this kind of leads us into SummerSlam anyway. But dude, I feel like they really didn't do too much with Dominic Mysterio as far as his run with that Intercontinental Championship. I obviously, if that injury with him and AJ, playing every single week, I think their backstage segments, by the way, have been awesome. Literally just phenomenal stuff that they've been doing, no pun intended, with AJ Styles. But I do think, um, if he was injured, it really kind of hindered his IC title run. But if he wasn't injured and maybe they were just playing it off or whatever, obviously we do remember Night of Champions in Riyadh. This match was already supposed to have happened. Now it's going to take place at SummerSlam. And all right, here we go. Here we got some questions. Do you think AJ beats him at SummerSlam? And then we had Sal come in and say, no, I think Dom wins at SummerSlam. I think AJ takes the title. And again, we'll dive into that on why I think that, in our prediction video coming up soon. Um, but yeah, I don't know. I mean, especially with the whole appearances in AAA and stuff like that. Again, a lot of these guys, man, they're kind of all over the place right now. They're doing a lot of stuff. But, I love the whole Dom becoming the IC title at WrestleMania. I think that was awesome. The crowd was finally cheering for him as opposed to booing him nonstop. He got over with the crowd. People wanted him to win. People wanted him to be the champion. He got it. He did it, but then it kind of petered off, right? Because obviously the injury and they just didn't have him do anything from WrestleMania till now, which I think really does suck. Because I think that he coulda had a really good Intercontinental Championship title reign. I really do. I think it could have been a hell of a lot better than it has been already. Yeah, I think it's gonna be a really, really good match, man. I think it's gonna be a fantastic match. Dom is kind of a really underrated worker in the ring as well. You know? I really do think so. I think he's pretty darn underrated when it comes to his in-ring skills. He can kinda go with anybody as far as, like, their style. He doesn't have to kind of placate to anybody else's style. He can kinda just go with whatever in the ring. Obviously, his dad is Rey Mysterio, right? So, I'm sure that just does him wonders as far as his development in wrestling itself, but I just thought that was kinda cool last night that he got such a huge ovation. And again, it should be fun match between him and AJ Styles at SummerSlam coming up. Here we go, talking about SummerSlam real quick. Let's get into this one. What do we think about this, guys? So WWE is promoting the tag match between Roman Reigns and Jey Uso versus Bronson Reed and Braun Breaker on the main cover for night one of SummerSlam. Does this mean that the night one main event of SummerSlam, because obviously, as we know, SummerSlam is the very first ever two-night SummerSlam this year. Does that mean that Roman and Jay are going to be main eventing night one? And should they main event night one? So it's kind of a two-part question, right? Does this mean that they're kind of hinting at it that it's going to main event? And also, do you guys feel that it should main event? Me personally, my personal opinion, my personal feelings towards this, bro, how do you not have the World Heavyweight Title main event night one and then the WWE Championship main event night two? Especially because that world title match is Gunther and CM Punk. You know what I'm saying? If that doesn't main event night one, bro, the disrespect that you're basically putting on your world champion, that you don't think he's either capable or you don't either think that he's a big enough draw in order to main event night one. That's what that comes down to, guys. That's all that comes down to, because we know how big of a star Roman Reigns is. He's the top guy. And then we also know how big of a star Jey Uso is. So that's all that comes down to, is you guys, WWE has no faith that should main event night one if this is true. Now, maybe this is just for promotional purposes, kind of like how Sick Gamer just said. They're using Roman for promotion. Um, and that could be absolutely true. But, man, it definitely should be the title match. Let me see what Sal said here. It should be the title match, but it is Roman and Gunther. Oh, but it is Roman and Gunther isn't it right now, even though they love him. I agree, bro. I mean, we just got this kind of report too that, like, they love him as their champion. He just is not what they would call Roman Reigns, a needle mover, right? He's not a draw. He's just not a big enough draw. But man, that's pretty darn disrespect. Obviously you should always go with the best story, as well when it really comes down to it. Obviously, Cody Rhodes and John Cena are main eventing night two. That doesn't go without question. But to not have your world champion then be defended on night 1, especially with CM Punk in the mix. Obviously, he kinda helps push the needle, miles with Gunther. And then it's also just that respect factor, like, "Man, you guys aren't gonna put Gunther, your world champion, in the main event of night 1?" I get Roman Reigns as the top guy, but there's no title on the line, it's just a tag match. So that doesn't need to main event, bro. He's already on the card. You guys are, using him for promotion. You guys are using him for people to tune in, to buy tickets, so on and so forth, right? You don't need him to main event. I really do think it should be Gunther and CM Punk. I think they deserve it. I think that they definitely should be the night 1 main event. So let's move on to the next one. When it comes to kind of the other 2 people involved in night 2, right? Cena and Cody. Here we go with this report right here. WWE and Travis Scott have had a full falling out. This is why it is open season for WWE talents to knock the rapper. And if you guys didn't watch Logan Paul's Impulsive episode with Drew McIntyre, my man ripped Travis Scott to the nth degree, calling him a POS, saying that he absolutely ruined, the main event of WrestleMania, which I agree with. I fully 1,000,000% agree with. He should have never been in the mix of the main event of WrestleMania. But you kind of get what you get, right? I don't think he should have been there in the first place, and I also think they're utilizing too many celebrity spots for these big PLEs in order to drive views. Like, but you're hardcore wrestling fans, bro, don't want that. You know what I'm saying? We don't need a Travis Scott entrance at WrestleMania to last 5 minutes. We just don't. Let me read some of these real quick. Going back to the other one, Gunther has to come in and do some draw dropping damage to someone big to increase his buzz. Yeah, I agree with that. His best work so far has been Jimmy Uso. That segment was by far levels above any heel work that he's done recently. Unless this Seth injury is a work and he cashes in, then it might be the title match main event. I still think I'm gonna just throw it out there. We already made a video on it. I think that's actually going to be the case. And listen, I could be wrong. You know what I'm saying? I'm okay with being wrong. I'll be the first to throw my hands up and say, guys, I was completely wrong. But I still think Seth's injury is a work, and I'm not even saying that to be disrespectful. If it is a full on injury, I hope he heals up. I don't wish that on anybody. But I do think it is a work because, bro, that if that's the main event of night 1, Gunther CM Punk wins. You have Seth cash in. I mean, you talk about a moment. Man, is that a moment. So we'll see. Having Travis involved from the beginning was a horrible idea, and it messed up the main event. Absolutely, 100,000,000%. TKO was starting to ruin the product. Yeah, I definitely see that. Waffle, imagine how the friends and family of the 10 dead humans from Astroworld disaster feels seeing Travis Scott in WWE. Good riddance. Yeah, I mean, I'm not even gonna touch on that. You know, you know what I'm saying? Like, I'm not gonna touch on that, but I'm just saying, as far as WWE product, he didn't belong in the ring, He just didn't. I personally just I like, hey, listen, I buy Travis Scott sneakers and stuff like that, but as far as WWE product, he doesn't belong anywhere near that squared circle. That's for sure. But yeah, I mean that's obviously it. Obviously they had a falling out. I'm wondering too if it's the whole thing about him wanting to get into the ring. If you guys remember that, like the WWE Unreal documentary series is coming out as well, and even within that, right, they had previews or whatever promotion showing Travis Scott backstage. He was all excited. after the whole spot at WrestleMania, or maybe it was the Elimination Chamber when him and The Rock came out. That could have been the clip, but I wonder because I know that they were saying that he was going to be training for like in ring action and stuff like that too, and then nothing ever came of that. And now all of a sudden we hear that there's a huge falling out. So it kind of tends you to believe like something behind the scenes definitely had happened. Um, let's see this. I don't consider Travis Scott a Houstonian. He's from Missouri City, which is on the outskirts of Houston. I don't know nothing about the Houston area, my man, but if that's true, then yeah, he's not a Houstonian. I don't know. I'm not from around that area, so I don't know. Um let's see. Yeah, he was, bro. That's the thing. I think he wasn't training. Yeah, he absolutely was training. There was reports on that. He was at the PC. So I'm assuming something had happened with either him in WWE or him at the performance center, or maybe he wasn't like doing what he needed to do to actually get ready for in-ring competition. So they just kind of scrapped it and said, "Listen, this guy's not taking it serious. We don't need him. Let's just not go ahead and bring him in to actually be an in-ring performer for either SummerSlam or anything other than just SummerSlam." You know what I'm saying? So just thought that was kind of interesting. Just a quick little side note on that. But here's the next news that just came out today, and this will be the last piece of weekly news for the week. Obviously, again, slow week. We did have the passing of Hulk Hogan, so that kind of took up the majority of everything. So make sure you guys go check out that video if you guys haven't watched that one by now. Here we go with this last piece of news. Boom. This literally came out today, as you guys can see from the time, right? July 27th at 6 p.m. Literally just happened an hour ago. Drew McIntyre announced he is currently stuck in Great Britain, where he traveled for a wedding this weekend. McIntyre announced he was denied the chance to board his flight back to the United States due to the fact he didn't have his U.S. passport with him, just his United Kingdom one. And speaking to WWE sources, this is a legitimate issue that the company is currently dealing with, and that source comes from PW Insider, tweeted out by Wrestle Purist on Twitter. Bruh, if this is the case, because if you guys watched his video that he had put out, he did post an IG video, and I think it was even on Twitter, that like his official Twitter, he made a video on this as well. Bro, he may not show up for SummerSlam. Hey, man. Hey, WWE. Let's get this figured out, huh? Let's get this guy back into the United States, huh? You guys got SummerSlam this coming weekend. You have a week. What are you doing? When I first saw this, I go, wow, this is insane. If this is legit, like not a work, and this is legit, and my man is stuck in the United Kingdom, bro, what? Hey, what? Uh, that's crazy. Hey, United Kingdom, don't you know who Drew McIntyre is? We need him for this weekend. That's insane. Logan versus Jelly with no Randy Orton. Bro, you talk about a match. You talk about a downgrade. You bro, Jelly Roll was about to just hang out on the apron the whole time Randy Orton was putting in work during this match. Jelly Roll might have to Jelly Roll might have to get that cardio back in because he's about to have to put on 15-minute match all by himself. That's crazy, bro. Did I freeze? Who froze? Who froze? Is the stream okay? Are we on? Are we good to go? Let me know. 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 Is everything good? Is the stream okay? Can you guys hear me? Anybody? 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 Are we good? Are we frozen? Or are we good? Can you guys see me? Oh, it's good. Okay, cool. Yeah, I don't know, bro. That would be insane. It'll probably be Logan versus Randy, and Jelly will come in and finish. Bro. Bruh. Bro. I mean, come on. I'm now, granted, okay, all right. Granted, I'm gonna say this, and maybe I am in the super major minority here. Okay. This is gonna be crazy coming from me, right? The person who is pretty much, really kind of against the whole celebrity stuff coming in for actual matches. Like, I'm cool with the celebrity appearances. This has been going on in WWE forever, from the Vinnie Mac days, even probably before the Vinnie Mac days. I don't know. It's been going on forever, right? This is nothing new. But it is getting more prevalent that they're having these guys come in to actually compete in matches in the ring. But the last 2 weeks on Friday Night SmackDown, I'm gonna say it, Jelly Roll has had some good promos. Dare I say he's had the best 2 promos on the last 2 episodes of Friday Night SmackDown? Would I be wrong for saying that? I mean, we all know Logan Paul is a phenomenal heel, right? And I think that dynamic between him and Jelly Roll is been really, really good. I just don't want to see Jelly Roll in an actual match. That's my thing. But man, I'll give him credit. The promos, the actual promos that he has cut on Logan Paul, especially this past week, has been really good. So I'll leave it at that. I'm just gonna leave it there. You guys let me know what you guys thought about his promos the last 2 weeks. But yeah. Let's see. Agree. I don't care how long he's been training. Yeah, yeah, it doesn't matter. He could be training for 3 years, bro, you know what I'm saying? But um I don't want to see him in the ring personally. Maybe that's just me, but I don't want to see him in the ring. Logan could catch him backstage and injure him, which would leave Randy and Logan for the in-ring match. Yeah, I mean, bro, let's just you know what we have to do right now? Here's what we got to do, guys. We have to hope that Drew McIntyre makes it back to the United States, okay? We have to hope that my man gets whatever he needs to get resolved and do it ASAP, bro, because that would be they may just cancel a match, right? Right? I don't know. I don't know. Maybe they do just do Jelly Roll versus Logan Paul. I mean, that's kind of the seller of it all anyway, right? That's literally the selling factor of that match is Logan Paul versus Jelly Roll. So, you know, yeah. If he doesn't, what do they do? Yeah, I don't know. It's a phenomenal question. Let's just hope that that is not the case. All right. The only other thing that I wanted to touch on today, let me bring it up. For some reason, it is part of the thumbnail. This report has been out there for a little while now. All right. And we are going to get into our SummerSlam predictions this week. Me and Break are going to do a whole video on it. But this right here. WWE is reportedly planning an absolutely chaotic heel turn at SummerSlam, per sources. Now, I don't know who the sources are. A lot of stuff on Twitter you take with a grain of salt, right? But this guy does have a pretty huge following on here, and some of the times he's thrown some stuff at the wall. Some of it does. Some of it has stuck before, right? So now, do we get a Cody Rhodes heel turn at SummerSlam? That's the question. And I guess that this question kind of also plays into factor on what you guys think is going to happen after SummerSlam, right? Like, who do you guys think is going to win at SummerSlam? What do you think the end goal with John Cena's retirement tour kind of entails, right? I think the rumor out there has been him versus Gunther for his very last match in December at Saturday Night's Main Event. And if that's the case, I don't think Cena goes into his final match with the title. And also, we have to take into account that this is SummerSlam, right? Something big has to happen at SummerSlam. It's the second biggest PLE of the entire year. WrestleMania and SummerSlam. Those are the two biggest PLEs of the year. So, what are we thinking? Do we think Cody Rhodes turns heel? Sal thinks so. Yeah, Cody was 100% turning and Cena turning face again. If Cody turns, final boss has to be there. Man, don't get me started on The Rock. He didn't show up at WrestleMania. I don't think we need him to show up at SummerSlam. I'll leave it at that. If you talk about finishing the story, right? Finishing the whole I sold my soul to The Rock storyline, then The Rock has to be there. He also had to be there at WrestleMania, and he never showed up. So, I don't know. Now, this would be a head scratcher if Cody Rhodes showed up as Stardust. That, my friend, would be wild. Now, let me know what you guys all think about this week's little weekly wrestling roundup. We did not have break here this week, unfortunately, but we're going to be doing this series every single week. Hopefully you guys are enjoying this little live stream segment that we're doing. I actually really do enjoy coming on here and kind of reacting to the whole wrestling news. Me and Break send each other stuff all week in preparation for the show this week, and that way we can bring it up on screen and kind of react to it all together with you guys. I think it's kind of a fun little segment that we do over here. This is the third one now, so if you guys are enjoying it, make sure you let us know down below in the comment section. Please subscribe to the channel if you guys have been enjoying any of our content as of recently. The channel has been slowly growing, and we do just want to come out here and just say that we do appreciate you guys and all of your support recently on the channel. There was a time on the channel that it was pretty iffy whether or not we were going to actually keep continuing, but we kind of broke out of that, and we do really appreciate all you guys' support. You're tuning in every week. We appreciate the support again. Like the video, subscribe to the channel. Stay tuned. Make sure you guys keep in tune to the channel. Put your post notifications on as well, because guess what? We got a lot of content for you all this week with SummerSlam coming up. We're going to have our SummerSlam predictions, obviously. Tuesday, I want you guys to not forget as well, is the WWE Unreal series that's going to be happening on Netflix. We are going to do a little mini series. Now, I don't know if all the episodes will be live all at once, or if it's going to be like a weekly thing where they're going to drop an episode every single week. But if it's all at once or if it's per week, whatever the case is, we're going to be doing breakdowns of each and every episode. So Stay tuned for that. As soon as episode 1 goes live, we'll watch it and we will come on here and react to it. There'll probably be videos instead of a live stream, but yes, we are going to have a little mini series of kind of us reacting to that series and kind of what it means for wrestling. So make sure you guys let us know if you guys want us to do that, and stay tuned for that content. Again, thank you guys for tuning into the stream today. I really do appreciate it. Again, I was solo, so I appreciate you guys going back and forth with me in the chat. It really does help me out here, and I do appreciate it. So thanks again, guys. You guys have a good rest of your Sunday night, and stay tuned for all of the content this week. Appreciate you guys as always. Thank you, and a peace.